How's it going? This is Matt, and today we'll be talking about the new California law that started July 1st, 2019, failure of permanent codes. Now, basically, we got a bar blast. 2010 newer vehicles, OBD2 permanent code diagnostic trouble codes. PDTC stored in the vehicle's computer memory will fail the bar OIS smog test. And then it goes on and on about what percentages, 1% will help customers with incomplete vehicle repairs. With more time going on, so right now we're in 2019, that the failures will start climbing up because, you know, more cars will be out and there'll be more 2010s and newers being tested. So just 1% is nothing now, but 5 years from now, it'll probably be a lot more than 1%. Basically, what happens with a permanent code, mode 10, it stores into mode 10 data, and it's going to be a $0A, and it'll basically need about 15 warm-up cycles and about 200 miles, not or. So once you repair the vehicle, this is solely going to be affecting people that are trying to get their smog, you know, really soon after the vehicle's repaired. Do-it-yourselfers, this is going to affect do-it-yourselfers because you're going to need a scan tool that can get access to mode 10 data. You need to understand how it works, what the smog equipment's looking for. I'm going to try to explain it best. We can get rid of the bar blast. We can go into our mode data right here, and as you can see, I'm working with a 2017 Mitsubishi Mirage. Yeah, this is my wife's car, and we're going to set a trouble code. That trouble code is going to store in mode 3, and it's going to set a freeze frame data, and it's going to store in mode 10, which is that $A permanent codes. And I'm going to show you why it's different. So why don't you hold on and we'll set a trouble code. All right. Pop this hood real quick. All right, we got that 3-cylinder Mitsubishi Mr. Shake-A-Lot. I don't know if you can tell, she's a shaker little beast. We're gonna disconnect this mass airflow sensor and the air temperature sensor. I'm sure it's built into one. Yeah, look at all the wires. Don't worry, it'll run off our manifold pressure. So let's. All right, you hear that? All right. And double check to see if the check engine light came on. I'm pretty sure it did. All right, we got a check engine light and we lost our traction control. Come back real quick. We'll plug this in. Just pretend the mass airflow sensor was broken. I diagnosed it, and then I put a new sensor on. And this is the difference. All right. We got a check engine light on. We're going to go into our scan tool. And we're going to go into the generic side. So this would be the manufacturer side. Oops. One button too many. Let me turn you guys over. I don't want you getting sideways on me. So now we're going to go into the generic side. Bam. All right. We're going to be looking at mode 3, and then I want to show you the difference of the mode 10. So we have 2 trouble codes, I assume. We're going to say okay, because we don't care. We're going to read some codes. All right, we're going to go to store codes. This is normal so far. There's our 2 codes. Air temperature and mass air volume code. Probably a circuit code. Yep, circuit low. All right. And then we're going to go into our mode 10. So that was mode 3. Now we're going to go into our mode 10, which is what's different now. There we go. So what are we going to do? This is where I'm going to show you the difference. We're going to erase these codes. Yes, erase. So, as you can see, the check engine light is off. We'll cycle the key on real quick. Get that traction control going. Alright. Now we got the traction control light off. Erase done. We're going to go back into our read trouble codes. Just like normal, guys. Nothing's changed. Stored codes. We have nothing in our mode 3 data. But now, the difference, guys. Here it is. Mode 10, there it is, guys. Even if I ran all the monitors today, and these were still stored in the computer's memory, the car will fail smog for the 2010 and newer models. So that'd be 2010, 11, 12, 13, etc. Going up to, well, whenever you're watching this video, I assume it'll go up and up and up in the years. So, let me just show you that one more time so you guys absolutely believe me. I'm going to go back to erase. As you can see, erasing, and see, no lights. Everything is awesome. We're going to exit. We're going to go read codes. We're going to go back to our permanent codes, mode 10, guys. And there they are. There's nothing I can do to remove these codes. Disconnecting the battery, draining the capacitors in the computer system won't help either. These codes are burned into the computer. Now, how do I get rid of these? I need the car to pass smog. I'm a do-it-yourselfer. I fixed the car. Well, Bar wants you to drive 200 miles and 15 warm-up cycles. What is a warm-up cycle? People ask me all the time. Well, warm-up cycle, I like to explain people, is the engine is cold to touch. That's pretty the simplest way you could do it. Every car is different. I would say that a car sitting for 6 hours, 8 hours, you start the car, you let it idle for 5 minutes, and then you drive off, would consider a cold start. So that would be a cold start in my mind. So how many cold starts can you do in a day? Well, that depends on, how desperate you are. You might be able to pull off 5, 6, but never, I don't think anybody is going to pull off 15, And then can you drive 200 miles in a day? Hell yeah, you can drive 200 miles in a day. But if you're one of those guys that just clear the check engine light and you just want to get by smog, it's going to be, the code will probably come back in that 200 miles or 15 cold cycles. So that's why you got to pay attention to the mode 10 data. This thing will screw you now for 2010 model year. I'm going to show you a list on the Bar's website. Now anybody can have access to this list. It's on my laptop. I'm going to show you where I found it in a second. I'm going to do my best to show you this. This is Bar's Smog Check OBD reference guide. And we'll read a couple things off this. And it's extremely helpful when you're dealing with a problem car. And this is not just on 2010 and permanent codes. I'll show you some more. That's, So we're dealing with a Ford. It's a 2011 to 2014 Mustang with a 3.7 liter and a 5 liter. Vehicle fails for permanent code, faulty code, a P0315, which I think is a crankshaft sensor. I think I Googled this last night. The vehicle will not self-clear this permanent code. Refer motorists to Ford for the customer satisfaction program. And this is, if you're a do-it-yourselfer, you would look into this 17N0O, or if you got a car and you dabbled in the smog repair and you can't seem to get it to pass, it's going to have to go to the dealer. So, there's another one. There's a Jeep 2014 to 2017 Grand Cherokee diesel. Failure codes of permanent codes is a manufacturer code, a P1D30. Don't know what that is. Vehicle not self-clearing permanent code. Test normally, OIS will ignore it. So, there's some good stuff. So you might, be worried about a code and it's on the list and the smog machine will ignore it. And, it's not very big as of right now. It's about a page and a quarter. And this is always updating. I always go on here just to see what's going on. We'll go on some pretty cool ones. We'll go with EIS. That's our pre-OIS smog machine, the dinosaur I call the Bar 97. There we go, an OIS. So we're working with a 2000 S40 V40 failure to set oxygen sensor catalyst monitor, defective ECM. Send them to the referee inspection if all these monitors are not complete. If any additional failures exist, they must be repaired before going to the referee. So this might get a free pass with a broken ECM. It's probably too old to be fixed, so the state gives it a free pass. Here we got another one. We got a 2003 to 2004 4Runner. The VSC light illuminates if CAN protocol is attempted with aftermarket scan tool. Vehicle loses stable control. This is one of those cheap scan tools you get at like Harbor Freight or AutoZone. OIS will not attempt to communicate with CAN protocol in these vehicles. This is extremely helpful if you're dealing. Here's another one. It says OIS ignores all 11 readiness monitors on this Plymouth 2000 3.3 liter EFI. So this would probably be not a lot of them. It's a flex fuel with the VIN of 8. This thing is insane, and it goes on and on and on. And you might have a problem car and it might be on this list. Here's another one. All 11 readiness monitors will be incomplete for a GMC. It's insane. You could clear the light as long as the visual, smoke, and fuel check passes. You could clear the light, go in and get it to pass smog because it's a problem car. You get a free pass on that car. Granted, it's a very rare car, but it goes on and on, guys. This is extremely helpful. Extremely helpful. So we're going to discuss this again real quick. I'll pull this scan tool so you guys are staring at it and not my ugly mug. So for 2010 model year permanent codes, what is a permanent code? It stores in Mode 10 data. Your scan tool has to be capable of accessing Mode 10 data. So it has to be good enough or strong enough or whatever you want to say it to access. This cost me $300 in 2017, 18, I forget. It's due for an upgrade, but it's pretty awesome so far. It's a good home. I would say do-it-yourselfer, not too serious about getting into smog repair, but have cars with a lot of miles on them. This would be a good one to get. So a lot of questions are going to say you got to drive it 200 miles and you got to do 15 warm-up cycles before this self can clear. So let's say you didn't fix the mass airflow sensor. Let's say you cleared the light and you're just trying to get squeezed by on your 2010 or newer. It's going to be extremely difficult because if that problem happens again or it sees that problem again, it's going to turn on the light again in that 200-mile cycle or 15 cold starts. It's going to be problematic. And BAR, California Smog Program, is trying to, you know, it's trying to get cars to be fixed. They want them fixed so they don't pollute. I'm just a messenger. You know, I'll try to help you as best I can. Leave a message. So there you go, guys. We are in July of 2019. The law just came out on the 1st, and I'm probably the first one to make this video. And yeah, stay strong out there. Fix the vehicles right, and leave a comment if you want. Thanks. Bye.